What up YouTube? My name is Marvin and today we're going to be talking about Bitcrushers. So if you're unfamiliar, what a Bitcrusher or 8-bit, what that is basically a pedal that takes your audio signal and messes with the sample rate. It's a sample rate reduction pedal. Without getting too technical, basically what that means is it takes the quality of your signal and lowers it in a way that it sounds like dirt but also sounds musical. Imagine, for example, that you're listening to music from like the 40s or 50s, something like old. And you know how the equipment back then wasn't really that good, and even if you could record something back then, it didn't sound exactly like what you would hear if you were listening to the music or the musician or whatever in person. So there's always little artifacts that get added on. Like let's say a phonograph, it adds a little bit of warmth to the audio that you're listening to. Maybe a radio adds a little bit of background hiss or something. So what this pedal is basically going to do is make your audio signal sound like not as clean and pristine as like modern technology would allow you to do. It makes it sound old school, vintage, like it's coming out of a radio or something is weird. And you might say, why would I even use this? Well, a lot of bands actually use this for intros. Like the song by Periphery, Icarus Lives. Right in the beginning, if you listen to the intro riff, that's basically, you know, like sample rate reduction. It gives you this vibe of like something that's like lower in output and it's very soft and you can kind of hear what's going on, but it's not that clear. And then usually they bring everything in to accentuate that. It's just like a little bit of an intro. And then boom, everything happens. So this effect is actually really well known. A lot of people use it, not just in rock and metal, but they use it in pop and rap. It changes the dynamic of the song. It's just really fun and really cool to mess with when maybe you have a song and you're just like, man, that just sounds too basic. And you want to add a little bit of seasoning, spice things up, you know. And I decided to talk about this because I actually am doing a demo of one of my favorite Bitcrushers. It's the Hotone Krush pedal right over here. This pedal, I mean, look at it. It's so cute and cuddly and small if my camera would focus. Not on my face, on the pedal. Hey, look at that. So up here you have a knob that controls the sample rate. This knob here controls the bit resolution, and this knob is a blend to blend with your clean signal. You also have this switch in here in the middle, which when you pull it up, it emulates a radio. When you pull it all the way down, it emulates a phonograph. And in the middle, it's neutral. You also have this little bar here so that if you step on the pedal, you don't step on the controls and break it. Very simple pedal, runs on 9 volts. Really cool and very fun to use. This thing is absolutely tiny. I mean, here it is compared to a Boss PS2. Yeah, see? Look how tiny that is. It's literally like the size of the top of the Boss pedal. Look at that. Pretty cool. So I'm going to do a demo of this pedal. It's not sponsored in any way, but I honestly just really love this pedal. So in this demo, to show exactly how I like to use this pedal, which is basically similar to how I mentioned in the beginning, where artists tend to use this for intros or little passages where they just want to bring the energy down and the feel kind of more chill. So I have this set up with my Joyo Jackman. So I'm going to show you how it sounds on the clean and the drive channel, and also how it sounds with an overdrive so you can see how it pairs with a boost. Me personally, I like this pedal more towards the front. I'd rather it affect my clean signal and have that go into my drive pedals versus the other way around, because for some reason, it just sounds really weird after my drive pedals. I don't know why, but that's just how I like to do it. Your mileage may vary depending on whatever you want to do, but this is the way that I use it, so I'm going to show you how I like it set up. I'm going to be using my Ibanez ICTB721? Yeah, ICTB721. Come on, Ibanez, you got to make that easier. It's an Iceman 7-string with DiMarzio deactivator pickups. I'm just going to show you what I like about this pedal, talk about it, and here we go. Okay, so we're going to start on the clean channel. Here's my clean sound. Whatever. Clean. Woo! And here's the pedal. So you can see it's pretty cool. It's got a light. And I want you to notice how much noise that you're hearing right now. It's only when I take my hands like this that you can actually hear noise. I'll play that same thing I was just playing. So you hear it sounds reminiscent of like Super Nintendo, Sega, Game Boy kind of music. And that is 8-bit music. So that's what this pedal is trying to emulate. It's trying to get your guitar to sound something like that. And like I said, in the middle, you can actually change the tone of that. So where I have the settings where they're pretty much mostly in the middle. Let me put everything in the middle. It's roughly in the middle. So right now it was just on the phonograph setting. So it's supposed to be a little warmer. Then if I go to neutral, sorry, this pedal is tiny, so it's kind of hard to do. Neutral. Actually, that seems a little warmer than the phonograph setting. Whatever. And here is the radio sound. So that sounds way more like an SNES. And you can hear like there's a lot more of that background hiss like an old radio. So I don't know, it's just kind of cool. Even just going like this. That sounds really cool. I don't know, I love that sound. Hey, shut up. I love that sound. It's pretty cool. Let me show you now. I'm just going to show you how the knobs actually affect everything. To me, this affects the actual sound of the pedal, like the effect that you're overtly hearing. This knob affects more of that background noise and how much you hear it in the background. And this is the blend, like I was talking about before, where you can blend that with your clean signal if you want to hear more of the guitar mixed with that, like half and half. Or if you want it to be completely wet and just only hear the pedal itself. So I'll play around with these so you can hear the differences. This knob here makes a massive difference to how it sounds. So you see it actually sounds more like a normal guitar when you're at 0. And the more you introduce the sample rate reduction, the more crazy it sounds. I hope that shows exactly what I was talking about when it comes to the quality of the sound. This sounds nothing like the original signal. Honestly, it doesn't sound like anything. But when you go back and you're in the lower register, kind of sounds like a guitar still, and then as you increase it, see, it has more of that like old, like, man, there's like no quality in the sound kind of sound. Personally, me, I actually like it between 4 and maybe 5.5 because I feel like it's the best balance of being able to hear notes and hearing the effect itself. So you see that, and then let's say I put it up to like 8. It's not like it sounds bad, it's just that like if you're going to use this in a musical setting, you kind of want to be able to hear what you're playing. I mean, unless you're going for something crazy and you just want some kind of noise in the background, you can also do that with that pedal too. So that's pretty cool to do that. And let's put it back. I'm going to put it back to 5. And let's say, like I said, you mess with the bit resolution. This is going to mess with that background noise. Again. Hear the background? Even when I let go of the strings. See? All the way down, it's dead quiet. And if you pick it up, you hear a little more. And you have even more. So mixing all those settings and then blending it with your original signal, or just having it complete, like let's say if we left it in the middle like this. This would be completely clean. Which actually sounds exactly like my guitar. And then just for reference, all the way in the middle, mixed. And you put it all the way up, then you're literally hearing just the pedal. So you can see, you actually even hear more of that background hiss because more of the pedal itself is coming through the signal versus the actual guitar signal. And I could do the same thing with distortion. Again, that's typically how I use this pedal, to mix it with a distorted signal so that you can use it as like an intro thing. So let's say, like for example, I'm on the gain channel. So you see, it kind of adds that extra harmonic content onto your guitar signal, especially with distortion, because distortion already has its own harmonics. And again, like I said, it pairs very nicely with overdrives. So now you get it, typical boosted, overdriven sound. And now add this in with the settings that we had already. So you get the idea. It's just really fun to mix this pedal with other drive pedals and just get different textures of sound. Like I'm a big fan of that. I like weird pedals that you can use to get weird sounds and to just create like a big sonic landscape to promote the ideas that you have in your music, like whatever feeling you want to invoke or something. And I feel like this pedal, it's really fun and easy to do that. So here I've actually turned off my mud killer and I put the sample rate reduction all the way at 0. So it's just barely affecting the signal. love that sound. That's so cool. Alright, I think that's enough demoing and such of this fantastic pedal. If you haven't been able to tell, I absolutely love it. I paid like maybe 50 or 60 bucks for this thing. This thing is very affordable. Has such a small footprint. You can fit this on any pedal board. You can actually also use it with vocals. You can use it with bass, with drums. Anything that produces an audio signal, you can use that with. And I haven't actually tried it, but I've seen, I think there's a video on YouTube of a guy doing it through a piano or like a keyboard kind of setup. I've seen people do it through bass. It does the same exact thing. So you can use that in a really musical setting. It doesn't have to be only rock and metal and guitar. You can honestly use this pedal in anything. And you can actually find this effect in a lot of DAWs. If you look around for sample rate reduction, 8-bit, just those kind of pedals and plugins, guaranteed you probably have at least one free version in whatever DAW that you're using. So if you don't want to buy the pedal, go ahead and experiment with your DAW. Personally, I just like the way that the controls interact. I love the small footprint, and I love having pedals like this on my pedal board. If you see my pedal board, it's just full of pedals that just make weird sounds because that's just the kind of person I am. I have a couple utilitarian pedals on my guitar board, but most of them are just for fun. That's the Hotone Krush pedal. Absolutely love it. It has the highest recommendation from yours truly. Honestly, I haven't tried too many 8-bit sample rate reduction pedals. I've tried another one. It was the WMD Geiger Counter Civilian issue. That pedal was amazing, but I couldn't get it to do the sound that I was after. It was like this pedal, but it was mixed with like fuzz and other artifacts that I wasn't looking for. I was looking for something very bare bones, very straight to the point in terms of digital manipulation in the form of 8-bit sounds. And that's why I really like this Krush, because it's not that expensive, it's built really well, and it fits on any pedal board, and it sounds great. If you don't like the sounds, good for you. If you like the sounds, even better for you. So I say you check it out. Thank you for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it. If you liked it, please subscribe, as I'm getting more content out each and every week. Leave a comment on what you thought about this pedal, and if you have any favorite 8-bit pedals or plugins if you're choosing. Always appreciate you guys watching very much. Like seriously, I really appreciate you guys. Take care, stay safe, and have a wonderful day.